Good morning, my math geniuses. So I'm going to be going over the Unit 1 practice test or the study guide. Now what I want you to do first is make sure that you do this on your own. Do all the problems, try your best, and then watch this video because I'm going to basically just show all the answers first and then go back and explain each one. So here's the first page. Here's about 1 through 4. And then moving it up to show the rest, about 5 through 13. Here's the second page. I'll just go from basically 14 to 20. And now we're moving on up and look at the rest of that page, from 21 to 27. And then the last page, there's the top, and here is the rest of that page. So now that you have the answer key, go back and score your test, and then that way you don't have to watch this entire video. Just look for the problems that you got wrong and watch that section of the video. Alright, so here we go. I'm going to work through each one of these problems, taking some notes, and you need to write down wherever you think would help you. So this says, write the phrase of x divided by 5 in words. So I take a look, I said 5 more than. Well, more than means plus, and we don't have a plus sign. Less than is minus, so we don't have that. 5 divided by a number, or a number divided by 5. So it has to be C or D, but since they put the x first, x is the number, see, a number, divided, there's the divide sign, by 5. So that's why the answer is C, right? Number 2, it says, what phrase, write another phrase for this expression. Well, you have to remember that whenever you have a 5 or any number this close to parentheses, it means times. So we're looking for 5 times. And then what do we have going on inside? Well, we have addition, right? We have adding. And what's being added? Well, we have a y. So remember, a variable, the letter y, could be a number. So let's take a look and see what we have. We have 5 times the sum. Well, remember, sum does mean plus. A number does mean y, and 3. So I think right off the bat, it's going to be letter A. So we have 5 times the sum, because these two things are being added. What's being added? A number, the letter y, and 3. So we have A for that answer. All right, moving on to number 3. This one's a little bit harder because it says 6 more than, so we know it's going to be plus. The product. Now you got to remember what product means. Product means times. So 6 more than the product of 5 and a number. And remember, a number is a variable. Okay? So that is a variable. And it looks like we're going to call that one x. Alright, so what I'm looking for, now the other thing is on more than, you want to put what is first second. So you want to put this second, and then put this first. So we have the product, well, that's times 5 and the number. So we're looking for something like 5 times x. Well, that's 5 times 6. That's 5 plus. That's 5 plus. The only one that actually shows it 5 times is D. So this is 5 times a number and then plus 6. And you see how this comes first and the 6 came second. That's because of the word more than. All right, number 4, what we have is the quotient. So that should tell you that that means divide. A number, all right, so that's going to be our x. And 2, all right, so and 2, decrease, that's going to be minus, and 6. So this one doesn't have the word less than, so we know that it's going to stay in this order. So when it says quotient, the first number or the first thing goes on the top. So we're looking to have the x on the top. So we're looking for an x and 2. So that's going to be divided by 2. Decreased, which means take away by 6. Okay. All right. Then we're jump down to 5. So evaluate means substitute. So what am I going to do? I'm going to take the 5, which stands for the letter M, and I'm going to put that 5 right there. I'm going to put the 9 for the letter N. So off to the side, I'm going to rewrite this equation or phrase substituting those in. So here's my 2. Now watch what I do with my 5. I put the 5 inside parentheses. I do that so it doesn't look like 25. I want it to look like 2 times 5 plus, now I'm not going to put the letter N, I'm going to put the 9. And then we do order of operations. You get 2 times 5 is 10. 10 plus 9, and 10 plus 9 is 19. Alright, so then we have our positive and negative numbers. And it says add, subtract, subtract. Kind of ignore these subtract. And just remember our rules. So under adding is you look to see if they have the same sign. Well, that's a positive. That's a negative. That means they're on different signs, different teams. They're actually going to subtract from one another. So I'm going to go 34 take away 11. That's going to be 23. And because the positive has more members, it's a positive 23. Now on these ones, I know it says subtract, but you got to remember what the rule for subtraction is. It's add the opposite. Add the opposite. So that means I don't mess with the first number, so that's negative 5. But I'm going to take this minus sign, I'm going to make it plus. And then I'm going to take the opposite of that negative 6, which is a positive 6. And then I'm going to use my addition rules. So I have a negative and a positive. They're on different teams. So I'm going to take away. It's going to be a 1. I'm take away. And the 6 is bigger, has more members, so it's a positive 1. All right, so using that trick, again, add the opposite. There's my 10. There's my minus sign. I'm going to make it plus. And once I do that, I take the opposite of negative 5, and I get a positive 5. Now these guys are both positives. They're on the same team. Add them up, you get a 15. All right, again, negative 11. When I take that minus sign and go and turn it into a plus, I'll even do it up here, it makes it look like a positive 7. So what you want to do is then write down negative 7 as the opposite of that. And again, negative and a negative. Same team, so we do it just like we did up here. We add them up. So we're going to get 18. But these guys are both negative. That means they're going to be negative. Okay, so number 10, add the opposite. So all these are done the same. Just keep taking note that I do not change the first number. I go ahead, change that to plus, and then I make this instead of a positive 3, a negative 3. So then these guys are both negatives. Add them up. -4 is the answer. All right, so we're back to evaluate. So that means I'm going to put this -34 wherever I see the value x. So I'm just going to put -34 plus -23. They're both negatives, same team, same sign, add them up. You get a 57. Go back and check the team. They're in the negative team. Evaluate. Again, put the 12 where the x is. So you see how he even lined it up? The 12 is right under the x. Minus -20. So again, here you can add. So I'm going to change this to a plus sign. And then it says add the opposite. The opposite of that negative is a positive. So now it's a positive 12 and a positive 20. They're going to add up to a positive 32. And then we change the game. This is no longer addition or subtraction. So the game's a little bit different. The size of the negative does not matter. If you see a negative, this answer is automatically negative. Even if you get the number wrong, make sure that it's negative. And then just type into your calculator 8 times 6 and you get 48. But on this test, it's going to be more important that you have the correct sign than the actual number. So I'm going to end this video and I'll do a second video for the second page and a third video for the last page of this study guide. My hopes is that you got these correct and you don't have to watch all 3 videos, or if you just want to study, that would be a good thing. So make sure that you have a mathtastic day.